Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Well, this is how the tennis courts at Cumberland Elementary School in Whitefish Bay look. A lot of school courts look like this. Maybe that's why so many of the best players in the world now come from other countries. But check this out. Thanks to the U.S. Tennis Association and a new program, Cumberland's courts will soon be in tip-top shape. Wisconsin's Tennis Association partnered actually with 4 elementary schools in Whitefish Bay to redo courts, get better equipment, and give PE teachers training.
Yeah, Jane Heffron is the principal at Cumberland, and Rick Vetter is a tennis pro and on-court trainer with the USTA, and they're here to talk about why this is such a very important project, right? Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Nice to have
for being
you
here. You know, I think this is a really important project in terms of getting our courts up to speed, because if kids are playing on them, it looked like they weren't safe.
Well, kids weren't playing tennis on them, that's for sure. They were playing tag or other make-believe games, but they couldn't play tennis because the level of the courts was so uneven. We took the nets down years ago.
Yeah.
The community has really come together to support this, which I think is great, because of course you have the option of turning it into another soccer field or a basketball court, put up a hoop, but the community has come together to help make this happen, right?
Absolutely. The community is the one, really the group that came to me in the first place and said, will you support this? And I said, we have lots of soccer courts, we have lots of kickball fields, we have lots of basketball hoops, but we don't have a way for our youngest children to learn to play tennis and to love it, and that's what this will bring.
Yeah.
I love playing tennis. I've never had official lessons because we didn't have it in my school, so I think it's an important thing that in the Midwest we really support here, and there's a big movement going on for 10 and under within tennis, correct?
Very big movement, and there's only been 5 rule changes in the history of tennis, and in 2012 the ITF, the International Tennis Federation, adopted a rule that all 8 and unders play on a smaller court with a slower ball and an age-appropriate racket. 9 and 10-year-olds will play on a 60-foot court, and then we as adults play on a 78-foot court. So that's the beauty of it right now, is tennis is scaled to size.
Well, and I think it's a great way to identify kids here in our country in particular who have a love of the game, who might develop into tomorrow's professional, or just develop a love of the game, because I think, like golf, tennis is a great sport to have for a lifetime. And we have an example that we're showing right now on camera. There's a bigger tennis ball, a smaller racket, and those balls actually bounce less than regular tennis balls, right?
Correct. It's called rogi, red, orange, green, and yellow, and we as adults play with the yellow ball. The red ball, which is for 8 and unders, that ball bounces 75% less than an adult tennis ball, and so therefore it's bouncing in their strike zone, which gives them instant success. Then they progress to the orange ball because a 9 and 10-year-old, they're a little taller in stature, and that ball bounce is 50% less compression. And then finally we get to the green dot ball, and that is 25% less compression. So there's been a lot of studies worldwide that now the ball bounces in their strike zone, the instant success, and more fun.
Well, see, I was going to ask you that. Is it kind of cheating? Is it sort of coddling them throughout learning how to play, or does it truly help them become better players in the long run?
Oh, it absolutely helps them in the long run. In fact, Roger Federer, who is #2 in the world currently right now, he started on this court in Switzerland. 2 of the past U.S. Open champions, Justine Henin and Kim Clijsters, started with the red ball on the red court. They've been doing this worldwide. We just in the United States now have adopted it full-time since 2012. So absolutely they will have instant success. And everyone blooms at different stages in their life. Not everybody matures at the same rate. So even though Jane is a star at age 7, and I'm not very coordinated, but maybe I bloom a little bit later, this will give me success early, so I'll stay in the sport and retain my
And Jane, you're one of several schools that are going to have courts that look this beautiful and then have those new red lines, those guidelines for kids to be able to play. Do you hope other schools will do it? There are several other schools in Whitefish Bay who are going to have their courts redone with these new regulations. I know you benefited from a tremendous community donation as well as a really strong group effort in the community. But do you hope other schools will do this too?
I do. I think that this can be a model. This was a group of parents that came forward in the first place, and through their efforts we've been able to be successful in raising those funds in a very short time So Cumberland will have the new courts. Our PE teachers have already been trained in how to teach using this equipment, and the kids have already had their hands on all of this starting at 4. So I think the other schools, I would be excited for them to have that opportunity as well.
Yeah.
And as we put up the website for how people can connect with you, can anyone from a surrounding area take advantage of the 10 and under tennis program?
Absolutely.
Yes, actually, if you go to 10 and Under Tennis website, there will be you can click onto facilities, and there are facilities all around the country, depending on what state you're in, that will, you can pull up your zip code and you'll find a facility that has 10 and Under Tennis.
Very
Which
exciting.
I think is fantastic because it includes information about the equipment that's needed, as well as the tennis courts and how to renovate those, as well as training for PE teachers.
Right.
It was so nice to have both
Yeah,
of you here.
exciting
Congratulations. Really exciting. We appreciate your time.
Thank you
you
for
so
having us.
much.